distribution of cameras. So this is the one I'll be doing looking at new stuff. This one here has been changed to look down on what I'm doing, and of course the handheld is still here. So with all the same cameras, they're just in different places. Magic! I've also fiddled about with the microphone because I noticed there's a lot of noise on the previous two videos. Now I don't know if it's actual noise on the connectors because of dirt, because the microphone, I've turned the gain down on the microphones, I've put a low pass filter in, and if I still have noise this time round, I'm going to switch the mics because I have another couple of radio mics as well. This one is very old and has served me extremely well. But apart from that, let's get on with it. So if we look down here, these are the couple of body panels I'm going to work on today. I'll take this one out of the way just for the moment. This is the main front fairing that goes on the front of the bike. Now you can see just here there's been obviously a stone impact at this point here. Now this crack, it'll be interesting to see how much you can see. That's actually quite clear. This goes down here to there, okay, and also down the front to there. There's another crack, and we just have to change this until the light actually highlights the crack so you can see it. There we go there. So we have a crack that runs like that, and I can feel the end of it is about there, and the beginning is about there. That's just dirt. Now, I'll have to find these cracks on the inside. Just drill the hole at the end of the cracks to make sure they don't propagate. And we'll see if just a couple of plastic staples will stabilize those. Now, this crack here obviously is a bit more serious. Well, it is and it isn't. You can see some crash damage here. This has been down the road anyway. It's on a bend in the fairing, so it does impart some strength into the fairing itself. It goes again. I can feel the crack actually stops there. So what we'll have to do, I just turn this around. You can see the crack there. Is I've given everything a good clean with a power washer, so that's all the dust and dirt off. I'll give it a good clean with IPA and thinners as well. Again, drill at the end of the crack, staple up here, and I'll definitely fiberglass over that. Now if we look at the other crack, you can only, I can see that there with my eyes, but you really can't see it on the inside. So what I'll do is when I've drilled through, now again this will be a case of lighting, crack in the middle, yes, there, I get that just right. You can see that crack there and there. Now fortunately, oh no, that's cracked as well. Right, okay. So we'll staple that up and see how it looks, but we may just fiberglass around that. I'll just have to check the clearance here to the radiator. I may have to put a wee fiberglass strip there, a wee fiberglass strip there. This one on the corner really hasn't gone through. I can't see it at all, but we'll see how we get on. So that's what we're going to do today. This panel here, this is the rear side of the fairing. That's the little binnacle bin. The luggage hook goes there. The ignition switch is there. All of this goes, that goes around the steering yoke. It's not providing any strength to anything, it's just cosmetic, but we'll clean it up as best we can. I'll just have to see this crack is out of line, so we'll have to try and pull it back into line, but we'll deal with that in the fullness of time. Right, okay, so I'll put this one here, out of the way, and I'll get all the bits and pieces together, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. Right, well, I've cleaned everything up with IPA and brake and clutch cleaner, because I didn't have any thinners. I thought I had thinners, but there you go. Anyway, all lovely and clean now. What transpired, if we go over to the other camera here, is that this one here turned out to be a sort of a scratchy, dirty thing. It's not a crack. Happy days. Anyway, this crack here runs along there. I'll put you in the middle of the camera. I'll have to find where the light is, so that may not be in the middle. There we go. Oh, look, you can see it really well there. Oh, look at that. Haha. This crack here runs all the way along to there, so I'm going to drill a hole either end of that to stop that propagating. And this crack here will drill a hole at the end of it, and I just need to check where the end is, but it's around about there. You can see some scuffs. They're nothing to do with it. Now, this is theory because I have never tried it in practice. I understand, I'm told, I've been shown many times, you drill the hole at the end of the crack to stop the crack propagating. Fair enough. Let's give it a go and see what happens. I'll assume that once you do that, fix it all on the other side, the fiberglass resin is going to fill in the hole anyway. So there we go. Let's crack on. So I need to try and find myself. You may or not be able to see this, and I may or not be able to see this, but hopefully between the two of us, what I'll do is I'll get my wee pen and I'll actually mark where the crack ends. Now, I used to have the pens somewhere sensible so as I could find them. There we go. So, if I can get the light reflecting on that myself, I can see that that crack ends about there. And that crack ends about there. So that's where I'm going to drill 2 holes, and we'll do the other one in a moment. Can you see those? Yes, there's there and there. So, what's the best way for me to do this? We'll turn it round the other way, because that gets me at a better angle. Now, one. Let's put the drill on fast. So that's one. That's 2. So The other one we have to do is here, and again we'll mark it, which you can't see, and my camera's in the way over here, so you can probably see the top of my head. No, yeah, no, well, there we go. Now, if I bend that, I can actually see that the crack ends somewhere around there. So that's where we'll go. Now, the only other thing I'll do is just clean the burrs off those. And there we go. Now, let's just clean that up a bit more. Would my burr cleaner fit into that? The answer is yes. So I know where all the ends of my cracks are. And we'll come in with this. So, that goes in there. Now, I'd heard about these things. Shuggy Mac actually mentioned that he had used it on one of his bike fairings, and I thought, they're dirt cheap on AliExpress. I'll get one and see what they're like. And I actually have fixed a squirrel feeder, and it did a grand job. So, theory. You get a huge amount of these, excuse me, they're very fiddly because they're like wire coat hangers. Okay, so I'll bring that up closer so you can see it. There are also different types and gauges of these little staples. Those are the heaviest ones. Actually, there's much lighter ones. There's different shape ones. You know, for example, if you're going into a corner or something like that. The basic theory is you get the interstellar blowgun, like so. You plug it in. Your little staple goes in the end here, like so. So as you can see, when you pull the trigger, this gets hot, you press it into the plastic, you release the trigger, and it leaves this behind. And it basically puts a little bridge across the crack. And it's just delightfully simple. So I'm going to give, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch the cracks together with this and then reinforce it with fiberglass on the inside. So as far as I'm concerned, that should be good forever. until I hit something, of course, you know. So let me put that to one side. There's almost, these are some of the staples. Different gauge metals, different sizes, different profiles. I'll pick one of those out. I'm not entirely sure what all of them do. There are some in the main box as well. Again, different shapes and sizes. These are all, I don't know, corner ones? No, maybe not. Yes, they're corner ones. These must be I don't know. I'll keep going until I find use for them all. That's the easiest way. So, we'll put that to one side for a moment. We'll get the big fairing. Now, the first thing I need to do is actually pull all these cracks into the exact position I want them. Now, the one here isn't a problem because the panel isn't deformed in any way at all. So all I'm going to do is reinforce what's already here. That's it. So there's my two holes, and I can see my crack running either side. So I'll put a couple of staples either side. Might even put one in this. I have a funny feeling for that particular crack that's all it'll need, because there's no actual stress on this area. It doesn't flex, it doesn't move, it doesn't do anything. This one, obviously being on the corner of the fairing, is going to get bumped into a lot. You can see that whatever scuff there has caused that. So we'll staple that together. But first thing I'm going to do is just try and find, I mean that's pretty close there, but it's just not quite about here, quite right about there. So I may even find a position which holds that in shape, staple it, and then find a position which holds that. And you can't see that at all. There we go. So what I was saying is, it's sitting, if I put this there, crack's sitting quite well up until here, and then it's off. So what I might do is staple this lower part of the crack, and then pull this into the right shape and staple the upper part of the crack. But I'll see when I get there. So if you give me a moment, I'll get everything set up, and we'll do some stapling. Here we go. I have propped this up in as good as I can, right? I just want to stop it wobbling. Now the first thing I'm going to do is weld down in here. To get that to line up, I'm going to have to just manually actually hold this bit here slightly out of line to keep this in line. The interstellar blowgun is plugged in and switched on, so I'm just going to throw it like a like a tack weld in there just to hold it. The ABS here is a good couple of mil thick, so hopefully we'll be okay. So here goes. Now I can tell that is actually holding that. So I'm just going to have to work my way up. I think I need to put my staples in a bit deeper, but we'll just slowly work our way up and see how we get on. I don't know how long it takes the plastic to reset. What we need is something to poke it with. That's set quite okay already. Now I'm getting up to a flatter bit here, so I'll be able to use the staples the other way. These things come out like this, where I'm there. So they come out like coat hangers no matter how neatly you put them in. So there, that's wrapped about four. There we go. Fiddly wee bastards. You can see that's pretty solid now. So what I'm going to do is, what you do is you staple it all up, and then with your nips you nip all the wee tails off, and that's it. Sorry, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the crack up here, so I'll reposition the fairing and we'll take it from there. Right, so I have cut some fiberglass for this wee repair panel here. I've also cut some fiberglass for the repair panels here, but it's over there, out of shot. I'm going to mix up some resin for this, and if I have enough left over I'll do that, and if I have enough left over, if it doesn't go off on me, I'll do the other wee rear fairing panel as well, because it's only a tiny little repair. So, goop hardener, goop container. This will be really exciting, especially when I haven't got myself a stirrer. Talk amongst yourselves. I've got a stirrer. So, put my glasses on so as I can see. Goop is still liquid, that's always a good sign. There we go. Don't actually need very much because I just need to soak them. Well, maybe make a bit more. Yeah, hold on, we'll make a bit more. Better looking at it than for it, as they say. This is basically a araldite, the runny araldite. And you'll also see it in all these videos of people doing resin stuff. Now, first thing I'm going to do is lift this wee thing out of the road and put that there, because you want to coat this with the stuff first and then it'll stick. And that's way too much hardener, which means this is going to go off way too quick, so I'm going to belt on here. So you basically mix this up until there's no streaks in it at all. Okay, it's great having a child who used to do art because it leaves me lots of brushes, or lots of old brushes for doing stuff like this. So basically what we're doing here is we're painting this on as a glue for the fiberglass to stick to, and then it goes in there. This goes on here like so. Haven't got enough there. Okay, since the fiberglassing yesterday, that's enabled me to put some bits back on the bike, which is actually quite a big thing. It's been in bits for 6 months. So I'm going to go to the handheld camera and just give you a walk round of everything I've been able to do since I've got those 2 bits fixed. So if you give me a moment, I'll just switch over. So you can see here I've been able to put the front fairing back on, which has enabled me to put the indicators and the side lights back on both sides. It also means I've been able to put the front mudguard on, which means I've been able to put the front wheel on, which also means I've been able to put the floor on. I've been able to put this little battery box cover on. I've been able to put the inner fairing on. I've been able to put the instrument binnacle back on, and I've been able to put the seat inner back on, although I need to take this back out because the side panels go underneath it. It's a minor detail. What this also means is dramatic zoom. There's now a key in the bike, because I can now do this. And it makes all the right noises. So I can attempt to start it. Now, I'll be honest, I've already turned it over to make sure there's oil pressure, which there is. I'll connect the spark plug and we'll just see if it goes. What have we got to lose? So give me a moment. I'll switch to a different camera because I need to do 3 things at once with my hands. And we'll see if it goes. 6 months. Didn't start first press, but it started. But it was just the starter interlock being stupid. It's based on this brake lever here, and it really is a pain in the arse. Now the ABS light is on there, but the wheel hasn't turned yet, so it doesn't know if its sensors worked or not. But it's going. You can hear my table rattling. Sounds lovely. Yay! Well, all I have to do now is fix the side panels, bolt them on, and that's it. So I'm not going to show you the fiberglassing to the side panels because I've already showed you fiberglassing. I'll show you when it all goes back together and it's in one piece, and then we'll go for a test run. How's that sound, folks? Sounds good to me. Bye for now.